Father, silence. Not even a beep is heard. Father's telephone hasn't been heard for months. Let's call Ginny. Hello, Captain. You haven't called in ages, and you've suddenly reappeared. Why? If it's about the books in my room, then take them. I'll do anything for you, my brother. Just be careful with them. Ginny, it's about something else. I just wanted to ask. Yes, what do you want to know? Mother has changed so much lately. She keeps forgetting everything. She says strange things like she's delusional. I see. Did she say anything about Father? Mother's always talking about him, but it isn't specific. When I ask her about Father, she doesn't answer. She has her reasons, Captain. Don't make her tell you everything. It's hard for her. Tell me what happened to Father. I don't understand anything. I want to know. No, Captain. Mother asked me to not say anything, and I won't. She'll tell you everything. Oliver? I'm probably wrong, I know, but you can't disobey your parents. It's bad. Tell me about that academy of mine. So many things are happening. Heard about the eye? We live on that now. They'll say anything about it in books, but really it's just a regular island. It's closed to outsiders. Freshmen live on the outer shore of the lake, and they moved us to the island itself along with the seniors. We live like we're in prison. We wake up at 6 a.m. and go to bed at 9 p.m. Classes are from 8 till 9, but there's no homework, which is good. Yesterday we learned how to boil all sorts of crap. Migraine medicine, eye drops to cure blindness, which don't work. Alchemy is stupid. Instructor Roderick teaches us how to make illusions. He praises me. He says I'm his best student. Can you believe it? Last week we passed the illusions test and I put Gabrielle into a bottomless well. I mean, it was an illusion, of course. She went into hysterics. I felt bad for her, but Professor Roderick was pleased. I'm also doing well with lightning, static, and arc discharges. If it wasn't for that bitch Giselle, it would be my favorite class. Giselle wins mutt. That shrew brings me down. Last time when I showed her perfect ball lightning, she gave me such a bad look, but she had to give me credit. It's infuriating, and I'm here and I don't like it. Without you, without Mother, without Father. And tell Mother I'm very glad that she's paying for my studies. Can't imagine where she got so much money, but thank her. Last time we talked, we said she found a way to deal with the family debt, and now everything is different. I wanted to believe it. Thanks for calling, Captain. I'm so damn happy to hear from you. Call more often. Don't forget your sis. Don't feel bad about Father. Everything will work out. Will work out. Long beeps are heard from the phone. Alright, well, I don't know if we can call Mom. No. Alright, well. Have we called enough people? Maybe. No. If I don't study, then Mother will surely punish me. I don't want to test her patience. Okay, so we have a book here. This is the dusty old book. The half-erased title is printed on the cover. The most important events in the history and geography of the land of Leviathan. Grandfather said that many generations of Vertrans have studied this book. He also said that every pure-blood family should have a history book like this one. Only nobles are taught in my school, so everyone in my class has a book like this on their desk. Professor Craze makes us read passages from it. The first passages are long list of its chapters. What should I read? Decade. Every man in Leviathan walks in the shadow of the decade. Every living creature should have knowledge of it. Here you will find all of that you should know. The decade is a great plague that covers the greater part of the continent, leaving only the borderlands unaffected. Plague occurs at regular intervals. Sometimes only a few years pass from one decade to the next. At other times, 2 centuries may go by. The decade itself always lasts exactly 10 years. One can predict precisely when it will end with the accuracy of up to a week. Decades present no threat to pureblood aristocrats. Their normal. Their noble heritage protects them. Mudblood bastards and commoners become sick and die, however. The number of deaths is particularly high in the capital. This is not surprising. Kreistam has always been at the heart of the epidemic. When the decade begins, the heavens darken and twist into an immense funnel, and a thick blue fog spreads from the base of the tower. The fog is the plague, the disease. Any mudblood who is caught in it will eventually be afflicted. The afflicted can likewise infect others. The infected experience great thirst, chills, a fever, and a throat so dry that every time they cough, they start to bleed. Flies reproduce in open, festering wounds that produce vile odors. Dark, painful sores appear on the bodies of the infected. The disease rapidly progresses. Often the afflicted die within a week, while others carry on for 3. Out of 20 afflicted, 17 perish. There is no cure for the disease, although charlatans make assurances. The suffering of the afflicted can only be eased by giving him plenty of fluids. Oliver stops through his reading. Oliver opens the table of contents. Alright, let's read about the Temple of Every God. The temple has long been veiled in the swamps of the north. It is a sacred, holy place, as is the Leviathan itself. Legends say that there an underground volcano exploded and vanished, and all that remained was an immense crater full of otherworldly energy. This energy penetrated to the foundations of the scorched earth, with a stream flowing into every vein and a light that was seen for many, many miles around. The light drew the attention of the people. Rumors spread to all the cities and towns. Hundreds made a pilgrimage to that place to feel its power. It soon became clear that the source of this great power was infinite. Light from the depths of the earth gave men energy, power, and long life to any who touched it. Next to the blazing spring of energy, wounds were mended, pain was alleviated, and chronic diseases healed. People moved onto the crater slopes. They dug holes into the ground that smelled of smoke, and lived in small, squalid homes just to be close to the source. Centuries passed, and the power that poured from the heart of the earth dried up. The light of that power inevitably faded, and people began to leave that place. The land, once teeming with life, became deserted. Soon, only those who cherished the land most remained near the source. They called themselves Coens. And so the Coens established a council. They decided to restore the former power to the crater at any cost. Night and day they dug into the crater, and soon the fire shone once more, only 100 times more powerful. Those who suffered reached out to the volcano, but now everything was different. The Coens told them that they needed to do so the flow of the energy would not stop, and the pilgrims grabbed their picks and shovels. The crater began to quickly grow. Many people cut up rich black earth daily in order to find the fountain of energy, not stopping even for one moment. The scrolls did not record the name of the Coen who offered to turn the mouth of the volcano into the temple of every god of the Leviathan, and there were a great many in that age. He said, any blind believer trusting will take his idol and bring it. The source will give up its power, and you will give the source the power of your hands. Tribes and free cities and all people, small and great, after those words were uttered, their populations moved to the Coen's realm and tripled with force. Millions of hands raised a temple greater than any in the universe in the mouth of the dead volcano. A ring of underground galleries were dug around the blazing source. Each idol had its own chamber. Night and day its followers worked in the temple shaft, serving their god, not with word, but with deed. Alright, I don't think we've got much left to read here. Can I just escape out of here? I'm gonna have to just quickly scan through this. I don't know how to close the book. Okay, close the book. Whew. That was a lot of reading, folks. Already dark? How long have I been sitting here reading this damn book? My lord, can you hear that? Hear what, Edna? What is it? Shh! Don't speak loudly, my wonderful lord. He's already here in your parents' room. A bad man. I can smell him. The air is saturated with his scent. Can't you smell it, my master? Strange, such a strong demon, and you... Are you sure you can't smell it? The door creaks in the parents' bedroom. Noise, a crash. Ah! Mother! No, stop, I beg you, no! Mother, Mom! Oh, we should go find out what the heck's going on. What happened? What the hell is going on in here? Mom? Mommy? Why are you looking at me like that? No, it's not true. It's not true. A stranger is standing near the window. He killed her. He killed my mom. What the? There are two of you, but I just saw... Is that you, Oliver, my boy? Don't be afraid. Please, I beg you not to cry. I'm sorry, incredibly sorry that you had to see this. You're trembling. Calm down. There's no need to. Oliver, listen to me. I know that it was a monstrous thing for me to do, but there was no way to undo what has been done. May what you just saw tonight be nothing more to you than a bad dream that will vanish with the first rays of the rising sun. Yet, you will say to yourself, I understand everything. That was the last nightmare I'll ever have. I needed it in order to wake up, and if I didn't wake up, my life would still be a dream. Go to your room, my boy. Tomorrow will be a new morning. The first morning of your new life. You? Ah! Edna, where are you? Where are you? Yes, master? Edna, kill them! Faster, Edna! Of course, master. This is how my story began. My mother was murdered on the first day of the decade. A 10-year epidemic that plunges our country into a series of endless deaths and funerals. The killer was never found. Inquirers from the Bureau never found any evidence, and in all likelihood never really tried. No one cared. No one heard the tears of a young boy who made claims about a killer in a shadow. I ended up in an orphanage, where soon a new father adopted me. His name was Christian Orvud, the man who murdered my mother. When we met, I pretended not to recognize him. I may have been a child, but understood that this was my chance to get near him and exact my revenge. Who knew that it would take so much time? I didn't want to kill him. Rather, Christians deserved to rot in prison for all eternity. All I needed was evidence. I just needed some evidence. But I found none. So 10 years have passed, in the depths of despair. I almost gave up, but one day I got a call from my best friend. He was excited, and I said that I needed to meet him right away. He was talking, almost yelling into the phone about a clue he had just found. Something about a ring. Alright, well folks, that is the end of episode number 1. Let me know what you thought about that. I mean, I know there's a lot of reading and it's a little different than what I normally play, but that was the entire intent. I wanted to try something completely different. This is it. This is the game Leviathan. That was the first chapter, which was called The Last Day of the Decade. I have very high intentions of continuing to play this game. But for now, we'll take a break and we'll see you very soon.